new feature of LAMS 2.4 called Conditional Lesson Release allows you to set prerequisites that specify the order in which your learners can complete lessons. In this demonstration, you'll see that I have Lesson 1, Lesson 2, and Lesson 3. Now, as it stands, whenever I launch this course, my learners can choose either of these three sequences to complete, in whichever order they choose. What conditions allow you to do is apply that same logic that you use inside a LAMS sequence to the actual running and order of your lessons. What I want to do in this demonstration is set things up so that learners must complete Lesson 1, 2, and 3 in order, and I can do that with this new feature. Now, the important thing to notice is that Lesson 1 has no changes made to it. Lesson 1 can be seen by all learners from the start of the course. What I need to set up is the conditions for Lesson 2, because remember, I don't want my learners to access Lesson 2 until they've completed Lesson 1. So, over here, I click the Conditions button for Lesson 2, and the conditions pops up. Pay attention to this line here. Select lesson that will need to be completed first. This is the condition for Lesson 2. So, Lesson 1 needs to be completed first. Select the lesson from the drop-down and then click Add Lesson. That's it. Done. Now, let's apply the same thing to Lesson 3. Here's the Conditions button for Lesson 3. In this case, I want Lesson 2 to be completed first. And let's add the lesson. Add the condition, and we're done. Clicking refresh will make Lesson 2 and 3 turn red. You can't access them because these are now under a condition. Let me show you how this looks from the learner's perspective. Now, this is a learner's view of that same course, and see they can only see Lesson 1. Lesson 2 and 3 are still launched, the sequences still exist, they're just hidden from the learner up until the time that Elsie here has completed Lesson 1. Let's jump forward and see what that looks like. When Elsie finishes Lesson 1, she gets this notification that indicates that Lesson 2 is now available. If we refresh the screen, Lesson 2 magically appears. The same will happen for Lesson 3 and any other conditions you set up. It's important to note that you can have multiple conditions applying to the one lesson. If I remove this condition on Lesson 2, I can still set things up in number 3 to make it so that Lesson 1 and 2 must be completed before Lesson 3 is active. So, that's lesson conditions in LAMS 2.4.